Well, good evening. And here we are at day 6 of the meanings that are associated with the word shalom. I'm deniselyndelle Miller, and I am here to share with you my musings on the word shalom. As I've explained in earlier videos, the word shalom is actually not an English word. It is a Hebrew word, and we normally interpret it as peace. But in Hebrew, that word actually has several components. I've discussed the first 5 of those components, and I'm about to discuss the sixth component today, and that is welfare. Welfare generally means good fortune, health, happiness, prosperity of either a person or a group or an organization. So when we speak of shalom, that is what we mean. Now, one of the things that I wanted to also discuss is that it can also mean security and it can mean freedom. Freedom from the worries of war, the worries of discontent, the worries of just scratching out a day-to-day living. It can mean abundance. It can also mean health. It can also mean progress. Yes, because when you are in a state of well-being and your welfare is attended to, you're free to progress and to grow. And also, it can mean advantage. And finally, it can mean contentment. Sometimes we don't have everything that we'd like, but we do have all that we need. We have all that we need to be reasonably comfortable, to survive well. That is a component of welfare. After all, when we go back to welfare, it is again good fortune, health, happiness, and prosperity of a person or a group. Now, what I'd like to ask you today is, as you think about welfare, your welfare, the welfare of your family, what about that is good? What is good? Is it good that you're safe, that you're secure, that you're actually free, pretty free to come and go as you please? In the United States, that is a huge, huge deal for us. Even in this time of COVID lockdown and coming out of the pandemic and still having to wear masks, we are still pretty free to go and do what it is that we want to do. And so when you think of shalom, think not only of the peace that comes from the absence of conflict, but think of the peace that comes from the presence of security, the presence of freedom, the presence of being able to grow as you will, of being able to perhaps change jobs or move from one place to another. And I'd like to ask you to think about your life. What is it that you value most, that you prize most about your welfare, your freedom, and about your security? I'll give you one example of my own. I lived in a neighborhood about 5 years ago where I literally went from the house to the car, drove everywhere I needed to go, and I was pretty afraid of walking out in the neighborhood because it was a pretty rough neighborhood. Now I live in a neighborhood that is not nearly as rough, where I'm free to walk around. Now, of course, I don't walk around at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I can, if I go out at 8 o'clock in the evening and decide that I want to even walk around my square block, I feel safe doing that. And I didn't feel that way before. So I am in a state of shalom where I live now because I feel a bit more secure. Now, I will also tell you that when I walk, I do walk with my pepper spray. Let's full disclosure here. Let me tell you all of that as well. But shalom, welfare, security, and freedom are very important. They're things to value. And I wish you a very, very good Friday night.